I need my notebook.
The way you say, I need my notebook. You are fine with whatever you need.
I remember one specific time I was a sophomore in college, and I was just going through so much. It's just like trial after trial after trial was coming my way, and I just couldn't escape it. And I just remember being in my room, in my cute little apartment, sitting by myself, and all that I had to play during that season, all that I could bring myself to play during that season was worship music, even when I didn't want to, even when I was so angry with God. And I remember sitting one night in my room and worship music was playing, and I had nowhere else to turn. And for some reason, the last place that I wanted to turn was to the Lord for that particular night. For some reason, I don't even know why. And I just remember me trying so hard to bring myself together and tell myself that I was going to be okay. And in the middle of me questioning God and wondering why all of this was happening, I just felt Him embrace me completely. And it wasn't even anything that I asked for, but I knew that He was. And that is one moment that I know that I will forever hold on to for the rest of my life. Worship is important to me because it's important to God. And worship is for God, it's not for me. It never was for me. And once I tasted grace, and once I tasted forgiveness, how could I not? How could I not sing? How could I not? How could I not? He sees everything. And He could call me unworthy, unloved, He could accuse me of so many things. He could call me by so many things, but instead He calls me Shelby. And how can I not give my life to one, the King of eternity, but two, to someone who literally is only good, only ever good. I've always kind of struggled maybe, or been aware of the fact that I really long for people's approval. Not even just approval of who I am, but just approval of what I do, or what they want me to do, I'll just do it. And somewhere along the lines, the enemy had convinced me that if someone doesn't like what you're doing, then it's not from God. And that's not true whatsoever. So into a influential part of my life and of my calling, the Lord was bringing me deeper into leading worship and being a leader and what that means. And I was terrified to do anything wrong. I was terrified to mess anything up. I had people above me that liked things a certain way, and rightfully so, and I wanted so desperately to do a good job at leading people and leading my peers, and in a specific role that God had given me on my college campus and at church. But I was submitting more to what these people said because I wanted to please them more than I was submitting to what God says about me and what God says about my calling. And so I finally got to a point where I was exhausted, and I was angry, and I was so bitter. And I didn't want to lead worship anymore. I was thrown in the towel. I was like, I don't care if I'm called to this. I don't want to be called to this right now. And I was almost there when just such breakthrough from the grace of God allowed me to realize that I don't submit to what people think about me, whether it's good or bad. But I submit to what God says about me, and I submit to His will for my life and His will in leading worship, because it's better that way. And so that is the overarching idea and driving force behind holding on tighter is, you know what? People can say whatever they want to say, and they can say that their idea is the best way to go and all of that, and they can tell me what to do, but all that I have to give is from the Lord anyways. And so if they have a problem with it, they can take it up with God because all that I have to offer is only from Christ. And so yeah, that's really the driving force behind holding on tighter. Is I've spent way too long treating the symptoms of a deeper root that says I just want to please everybody, and I spent way too long treating those symptoms. And you know what? I threw that out, and the Lord completely uprooted, and He still is day by day, but He uprooted that deep root in me and now it's transformed into this, I live to please Him.